Hello everyone, Jose J. Garcia with Garcia Home University here. Quick video, nothing specific, just sitting here thinking. Uh, Strategic thinking, that is. So, my coaches have taught me one thing about, implementation. You have to implement ideas, you have to have visions, you have to have goals, you have to have drive, motivation, determination, the list goes on. So, just sitting here thinking kind of strategic thinking, certain coaching programs that we can set for you all. And it comes, of course, with a lot of the questions that people are asking. I know a lot of people are not so keen to back pocket access just yet, may not be ready. When I'm doing a lot of the coaching and mentoring with my coaches, a lot of times they tell me, start with this. Let's focus on that first. And I almost like I try to get ahead of myself. That's always been a given with me. I always try to take more in a sense. And that's good in a sense, you have that drive. But they will tell me, let's focus on this here for now, or let's put a little more attention on that. You're not ready for this department just yet, kind of thing. And it's not in a bad way. Just, many times you're not ready for certain steps just yet. So that's always a good thing to have somebody to kind of, ease you back just a little bit and let's put a little more focus here. But yeah, when it comes to being successful in mobile home investing, there's a lot of things that go hand in hand. Definitely having persistence. And that's with anything, any product, any service that you want to do, you have to have persistence. Have persistence. You have to have a strategic, what you want to do, regardless of exit strategy or just in how you want to invest, period, all around. You have to be able to follow up with any and everybody that you're doing business with. That is probably one of the most ignored overall. I see people following up. I think people start taking things too personal many times. I know I had one investor who pretty clearly made it out that, well, they tell me no, I don't need to deal with them. I don't need that. I just go somewhere else. Yes and no. That's a bad attitude in a sense because, follow up is key to anything, whether it's a deal, whether it's trying to invest or even network with somebody. You're not going to get yeses all the time, not at first anyway. You're filling somebody out new for one. You're meeting them, they're meeting you. What makes you think that they're going to jump on board and, okay, let's work with this guy? No, granted, you have to have credibility even from the get go, and a lot of that is your pitch. What is your pitch sell like? But at the same time, it's that first initiative, you just got to kind of keep it in mind. So, the best and most important strategic is evaluating a property. If you cannot evaluate a mobile home, the worth of it, the maximum allowed offer on it, you can't do business. It doesn't matter if you're a wholesaler, a flipper, okay? If you're going to take these properties and invest money into them and put them back on the market. If you cannot determine the value of the property, how do you know what good business is or not? So you have to keep in mind always this, you have to figure out how to evaluate a property. That one is huge. You cannot bypass that. I've made examples of, there's no other product or other service. If you were to go out to a grocery store, right, and you were to try to take one loaf of bread, for instance, right, and you see a one set price, okay, how would you know if it is a good price or not unless you were comparing it to other ones? You do that with everything. We do this on a daily basis. On a daily basis, we're buying, we're selling, and we're out purchasing things at all times. Use the same strategy in a sense. If you're comparing a loaf of bread or a piece of material, regardless of what it may be, you do the same thing with mobile homes or product like this. So keep that in mind. But you have to be able to determine what the value is. Don't overspend time on a deal. There's another one. Follow up is key, yes. But a lot of investors, I've also seen them that they're wasting too much time on one deal. It's not even a deal. It's not going to become a deal. You always feel like people, and it's no deal is the same, no investment is the same. You have to keep that in mind. So to say, okay, they gave me a no. All right, that's fine. But if they gave you strong enough no, as in there's zero interest of selling, put them on the back burner. That's okay. Keep them on there. But don't let that slow you down from other deals that you should be getting, because there's that. If there's other deals that you should be focusing on and you're burning too much time on something that is not a deal now or will become a deal, then you are losing out at that point. So just feel out the sellers. Feel them out. See how distressed, how serious they are about selling. A lot of them will tell you, look, I'm going to sell in a couple months. Okay. In a couple months, I'm going to follow up every other week, just kind of checking in more so. Don't aggravate them. Don't be so persistent that you're more in aggravation than anything. And just keep them again on the back burner, but focus on the deals that are deals at this time. That is huge. Okay. Don't limit yourself. That would be the next one on that. You cannot limit yourself from certain deals. That was a struggle for me earlier on, is I would have exit strategies that I was doing. And of course I lacked coaches and mentors. So, I stuck with what I knew. That's good because you're obviously maximizing, that one avenue within whatever you're doing. but at the same time, you are limiting yourself. Wholesaling didn't come into for me till later on. I didn't care for contracts. I didn't care for agreements. I didn't care for paperwork all around. I'm pretty good at paperwork now, but early on, I was not. And it was one of those like, oh, you have to structure this, and it was more confusing than anything. So I avoided it at all costs. I mean, I was passing up on deals just to avoid doing paperwork or even attempting to do so. I had to get bypast that, and I had to learn that. So, it was one thing that I was limiting myself. So I would tell you, do not limit yourself. If you're getting into mobile home investing, and I put so many of these videos on YouTube anyway, go and get as many as you can. Watch them, rewatch them, replay them, and make sure that you understand how to do whatever exit strategy you're trying to do. And if you still need advice or guidance, reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you on that. That's what we're here for. Let's see. Lenders. If you have lenders, and I'm hearing a lot of this here, and of course we're trying to bring a lot of private hard money lenders onto our calls. There's already been a few there. I've told y'all on this. For those of you who are on our Let's Do Deals, a lot of these screens that you see blacked out and you kind of just see a name on the bottom, some of them are actually even anonymous. They don't even have a name. I don't know how they do that on Zoom, but I mean, I want my name on it, so I don't really care on that. But there's already a few hard money lenders there, and they're looking, and I'm telling y'all, they're there to spend money, invest money in you, because that's what they want to do. They do not care for the sweat equity. That's where you can benefit them. You can do that, and they can simply provide the funds. But how do you get hard money, private money, or even any kind of lending? Simplify it. You've got to simplify it. A lot of you are wasting too much time trying to explain the product. Never start with the product. Start with the numbers. Okay? If you were a hard money lender, if I was a hard money lender, we would want to hear the returns on the investment. Why would I want to hear an entire 20, 30-minute pitch? Don't make them that long for one. 5 minutes. Okay? But why would I want to hear the pitch before hearing the numbers? Because if you sit there and you're doing this pitch over and over and just rambling on and what you can do and how you're great at this and that, and I don't doubt you are, but then you get to the end and you're talking about returns on your investment or 7% or 8%, I'm not interested in that. So neither are they going to be. Start with the numbers, okay? Now, it's not a braggadocious thing. Don't come in here. But hey, how would you like to invest on mobile homes where we can get investments, returns on investments up to, but not limited to 600-700% or even more? You got attention. And that's what you want. When you get that attention, you can break down a little bit more numbers, and then get to the product. When you break down numbers good enough, they're going to ask you about the product anyway. Where are you getting these numbers? These are phenomenal numbers, but what's the product here? Tell me about that. Now they're at interest. See, now they're more eligible to stick with you and actually pay attention rather than checking out. You don't want to be presenting a deal in a sense or an investment, and halfway through they done checked out, and by the time you do get to the numbers, they are so bored they couldn't possibly care. You can bring some people back in after that, but it's a lot easier to start with numbers. So simplify it. Simplify it. What is it for them? Start with that. Let's see. Posting ads, advertising, marketing, strategy. Stand out. Stop doing the same thing everybody else is doing, or you're just going to be just one more investors like sellers say. You're just another one of those. Don't be just another one of those. Stand out. Get creative. I've seen some very creative ads. I saw somebody posted a We Buy Mobile Homes, and right beside it, somebody had wrote, and I think it was a lady maybe. It doesn't matter. But it said on hers, "So do I." It had an arrow. So it was a bandit sign, We Buy Mobile Homes, and right beside it she had hers, and it had an arrow towards the We Buy Mobile Homes, and it said, "So do I. Call me." That's catchy. I would call that person first before the other one just because that caught my attention. So it's it's little things like that you can do to stand out and stick out. Don't be just one more. Do little creative things like that. When it comes to social media advertising especially, go check out some of mine. I should probably start blasting some on social media. I used to do quite a bit, just to give y'all ideas. Absolutely. Any way I can help you on that. But let's see. Believe in your product. Imagine making a phone call and you hear somebody just dragging out, and I have a mobile home. I'm looking to sell, but be spontaneous, alert, reactive, sharp. Okay? I have a mobile home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single wide. You're going to love this deal. And the reason why is because of the numbers. People want to hear that. Okay? If you don't believe in your product, nobody else is going to either. Why should they? You sound like you're more bored out of your mind than anything. So again, have that sharpness to come with it, and obviously all the facts. Have the facts, have the numbers. If you don't even have all the information to your own deal, who does? That's always going to be my question to somebody, because when I get to asking questions to somebody, and I'm not being hard on them, I just simply the information that I want to know, I need to know. So if, whether you're a wholesaler, investor, it doesn't matter. You're bringing me a deal. There's a lot of questions that I'm gonna hit you with, and if your response to start going from I don't know to maybes to I guess so, not gonna happen. At one point, I'm gonna stop asking, and I'm gonna ask one simple question: who can I talk to that can give me this information? You don't want to be found in that department. You cannot know everything. That's plenty fine. But if you can know 90% of all the questions, I say you'll be in good standing. To the remaining questions, don't ever say I guess, maybe, or I don't know. How about more so, you know what? Let me check on that one for you, and I'll get back to you. I just want to make sure that the information I give you is 100% accurate. There you go. Sounds a lot more professional, a lot better than I don't know, maybe, or I guess. Don't do that, okay? Be presentable. Be professional. Be respectful. You cannot call somebody and here's one thing that I'll suggest in a lot of videos, and it's about being mindful of people's time. Be mindful of people's time, and even more to yours. If you're an entrepreneur and ongoing, you know what I'm talking about already. We don't have time to waste. We get straight to the point. We go straight to what we need to talk about, and we leave any chit chat to later on. Maybe that's plenty fine. But during a deal, during a first transaction, and even a phone call, it is always about get straight to the point, to the questions. Okay. Get straight to it and be respectful, but don't overpressure either. Okay? If you call and you're demanding answers, why should they want to do business with you, right? You got that going on. So just, be respectful is the biggest thing. Be respectful to them overall, and be respectful to their time. I would say that. Okay? Last one. Problem solver. Be a problem solver. He who can solve the biggest and most problems is the one that will be wealthiest. Let me make an example. That may sound a little unorthodox for a second there, but okay. He or she who can solve problems and solve the biggest ones will be the wealthiest one. Why? Because you're a problem solver. Overall, when you think about it this way: if somebody needs a mobile home, right? They need a mobile home to live in, and I can provide them a mobile home. To you, it may just sound like a deal, but you just solved a problem. A mobile home park has 17 empty pads, and you can fulfill all those. That's a good deal for you and good money. But you just solve multiple problems. There you go. And the bigger the problems, the more the wealth, the more the profits you're going to make. So treat it as that way. Be a problem solver. You got a problem? I can solve it. Let me see how. Now, I'm talking strictly within mobile homes at this point. If there's other things, other products that you serve, you deliver, by all means have the same way. But it is always about solving a problem for somebody or for people, okay? And that's going to make you wealthy, absolutely. It's also a service that the more service that you provide, the more you're going to get, because people will eventually hear of you. Keep in mind, I always say, when people think about buying and or selling a mobile home in my niche, they should be thinking about you. How does that happen? By advertising, marketing. You got to do it every day. You cannot advertise one day, every other week, and think you're going to stay above. Look at commercials on TV, for instance. You see Adidas, Nike, Starbucks, all these. They're there for a reason. They're doing it over and over. Do those big, massive companies need to do it? Yes, they do. What makes you think you're any different? Every day. I blast on social media every day, 7 days a week, okay? Twice every other day if I can. It just depends. We do have a team, of course, and they're doing a lot of that as well. But you have to do that to stay above everyone else. And some people call it competition. Call it what you will. Let people know you're there to provide a service. Hope this video helps you out. I didn't realize I went way over 13, 14 minutes, of course, but I get to talking and I can talk all day. So if you're looking for direct coaching, visit me at GarciaMHU.com. Email me directly, j@GarciaMHU.com. Any way I can help you. Till next time, thank you for watching.